Good morning, good afternoon, or evening. Woo!
That was fun. She was
Why, thank you.
yes. She was like, "Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be perfect," and I was like, "Nothing is perfect. It's okay."
Yeah. I love finding creative ways to start it out besides just being like, hey guys, welcome to Do Tell, which by the way, you are listening to Do
Yes,
Tell.
don't. I mean, if you don't know that you're listening to tell you, I don't know what you're doing. Is your phone
Yeah,
okay?
I don't
Are
know.
you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, how are you? How has your week been?
Quite swell.
Quite
I
swell.
always say that. Tomorrow for me, so this episode will come out Wednesday, but on Monday, I started school, and I don't know how it is at the moment because it starts
Oop.
tomorrow. Yeah, I hope it turns out good. Who knows? It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
interesting, social distance and all
She
that.
also took her senior pictures and fell in the ocean.
Yeah, I did. It was funny. That was
Yeah,
yesterday.
it was really
Oh.
funny because she was trying to flip her hair, and then she
Mm.
got back up, and then she just fell over.
They're like, okay, so my hair is really thick and heavy whenever it's wet there. And so my hair was pulling me back, and then a wave came in and kind of got water in my eye too. And
Oop.
so then I wanted to flip it, and I didn't flip it at the right moment though, but oh my god, I fell over because I was unbalanced because it and oh my god, it was everything. It was hilarious though.
The struggles of water shoots.
Oh yeah. It's hilarious, but it turns out great.
Oh, I'm so excited to see the pictures. I really am.
Me too. Me too.
Hmm.
I have no idea how they'll turn out.
Did you get to see them when he was taking
I
them?
got to see just the water one.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was interesting because my hair was separating in the air. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was funny.
All right. Well, I'm excited either way.
Me
But
too.
my week, it
Oh, I
has
didn't
been.
ask you, woman.
Well, that's what I'm
How
saying.
was your? Well, shush. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. I am not starting school on Monday. I still got a week.
Oh, I know. Look at you. Lucky you.
I know. But I think you guys end earlier than I do, just a couple days, but still.
Yeah. Then I'll be like, haha, lucky me.
Yeah. Wait, are you guys going back to school in person?
So we've got 3 different ways that you can go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Fully in person, which is what I'm doing because first off, it's my senior year,
Mm-hmm.
and why not? But I'm literally the only reason I'm happy for tomorrow is because I'm gonna be counting down the days to graduation. I'm gonna be like, yes, college. But you can do in person fully.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a hybrid schedule if you wanna.
Yeah.
Or you can do fully online.
Gotcha. Are all your friends doing in person?
Mainly, well, yeah, from the only friend I have, yeah.
We also have a hybrid schedule, and we have a fully virtual schedule or a hybrid schedule. And I think a majority of everyone here are doing virtual, not only because the hybrid schedule is pretty. I don't see a point to it
Gotcha.
personally, because for us it's you go to school for half a day every other week, and then you come back home and take the rest of your classes.
That's a strange one.
Yeah, that is.
That kind of hybrid schedule.
Yeah, and the people in my school are pretty crazy. They are not going to be putting on their masks. They're going to, and the couples, oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Now they should be worrying about getting COVID, not mono.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So you only have those 2 choices?
Yeah, we only have those.
So you're doing online?
I'm doing online.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. But the only thing is, I hope I get to have a graduation.
Yeah, hopefully.
If I'm being ambitious or if I'm being selfish, I also want prom. But I doubt it's gonna happen.
I know. We're not having homecoming because football is not happening at our school.
Yeah.
That's
they
fine.
canceled all sports here, and there was a petition going around to start them back up and everything. It was a whole thing.
Wow, that's a big thing.
Yeah, because senior years, you have all the recruiters coming to see you, and you get scholarships for sports and all of that stuff, right? So not anymore. You're gonna have to pay full tuition.
Exactly. So if you play a sport this year, oh, it sucks.
I'm so sorry for you. Okay, we will get to our quotes of the week. Do you want me to start with the quote this time?
Why don't you?
All right. So I don't know who this is by, but I just thought it was such a fun and like upbeat quote that everyone needs to know. This is what the quote says. Here we go. Hopefully I can read it this time.
Okay.
Call me crazy, but I love to see people happy and succeeding. Life is a journey, not a competition.
Yeah. That makes sense now.
Yes. I mean, I agree with it. Though I do think life is just a little bit competition, like in the work field area thing, but not in like life, like how much you've succeeded. Because you can't compare your success to someone else's success because you both have very different definitions of success.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it just depends on like who you are as a person. Like you can make it like make life like a competition, or you can just make it a journey. Like it doesn't have to be at all like competition, but it just depends on how you make it to be. No?
But I do think like when you make it a competition in every aspect of your life, it just gets a little crazy, and then you'll be, you know, starting to feel jealous. You'll be selfish. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Competition is important, just not all aspects.
Yeah, not every single second of your life. No. Okay. Hun, I got a quote now. I have no idea who it's by because, again, Pinterest doesn't really put the people who wrote it.
I know. I'm just like, I want to give credit. Let me know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to, like, plagiarize this.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path.
I think every storm could be coming to clear your path. It just depends on how you look at it. Like every crazy experience, every insane toxic person that came into your life and is not in your life anymore, there's a lesson to be learned there, and it's really in your hands to learn that lesson.
It is. I know. I like this quote a lot because like it is very simple but like very straightforward, you know?
Exactly.
And it's like whenever you have like a really tough like moment in your life, like it feels like it's the end of the world, but like you know it's not.
Yeah.
And like once that like kind of clears paths, like, you know, your situation, like it kind of just feels like a fresh slate, you know?
I love that feeling of like everything settling down.
Yeah, you're like
storm. Yeah.
Yeah, the storm has settled down.
Yeah. Oh, woo.
I love it.
I can feel it. I can almost like feel it right now.
I feel the energy.
Okay, guys, that is enough ranting about quotes. If you let us, we'll go on for the entire episode, and we'll give you a bunch of different quotes to rant about. So before we bore you, let's get right into the topic, because it is going to be an interesting, fun, for both of us, actually. I think we don't know each other's answer to any of these.
It'll be interesting. Like, before this, we started talking about it a little bit, and we were like, whoa, we should have mentioned this.
Yeah, like
let's stop talking and just get started with it.
I was thinking about this book that I read in 10th grade, you know, because I was on TikTok, and they were talking about Holden and all of that. But have you read The Catcher in the Rye? Have you read that book?
Never heard of it.
You're joking. Oh my God. It is the most like iconic book in American literature ever.
What is it called?
The Catcher in the Rye. It's by J.D. Salinger.
The Catcher in the Rye.
It is kind of like, it kind of talks about the American dream, and for like someone who, Holden, who's the main character, the way he looks at the American dream is very different from the traditional American dream, like quote-unquote American dream. Because, you know, not everyone wants a white picket fence. Not everyone wants two kids, twins, whoever it is. Not everyone wants the traditional American dream. So it's kind of his way of going through teenage, like, part of his life, trying to figure out what it means to him.
Yeah.
It is so good.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've honestly never heard of that book before.
I am so surprised. It is like, Holden, especially Holden, is like considered one of the most important and influential characters in the 20th century of like American literature.
When did you read that book?
We read that book because it was part of our curriculum for 10th grade LA.
10th grade. Okay. Yeah, we never read that.
I've been seeing a lot of like Holden stuff on TikTok, so that's what I was reminded of.
Really? Gotcha.
And And I was
That's
like,
cool.
you know what? It would be a great idea to talk about our versions of American Dream.
Yeah, because coming from an American perspective and then a non-American perspective would be
Yeah.
interesting, I think.
And it's like, I feel like my view would be very different from someone who hasn't lived a lot of their life or
Yeah.
spent a lot of their life in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I were
Yeah.
to ask my cousin, I feel like she wouldn't know what an American Dream was.
Yeah, I feel like some people know what it is, and then there's like a kind of bigger majority that just don't know what that is because they've heard like, oh, America's, great place to live, but like,
Mm-hmm.
what's an American dream, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's okay
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like American Dream is not the be all end all for every person on this earth
Mm-hmm.
because there's like, you know, various other countries out there and
Yeah.
continents out there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay.
What was your idea of like an American dream? Like, what have you heard about it? Like, what do you like know of it, basically?
Well, I know the American Dream is like this very traditional view of life that was like, the perfect life
Mm-hmm.
back in the olden days where, you have kids, you have a wife, the wife stays at home and cooks for you, you go to work every day, you have this beautiful house with the white picket fence, and you have two kids and it's just playing around in the lawn, and you go to a 9 to 5 work like job, and then you
Yeah.
come back home and you just, it's like the most happy life ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
That
sadly, life isn't
that
happy all the
happy.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And life isn't surrounded by a white picket fence all the time either.
Yeah. I know. It's interesting. Whenever I like heard of the American dream, like of course I was born in America, so I've heard it my entire life and like now
Mm-hmm.
that it's changed. But I have no idea when it was like brought to me about it. But whatever I thought of the American dream was basically, I know like you say like the white picket fence and all of that, like that was
Mm-hmm.
like a thing, a part of like the American dream,
Mm-hmm.
but like that wasn't the huge focus of an American dream
Mm-hmm.
because I thought like mainly of it for like the job aspect because some people couldn't get jobs until they came to the US,
Yeah.
and then you could get a job and like live a happy life and like actually earn your like wealth, like
Mm-hmm.
not actually being like, hey, I got like $100 million loan from my father kind of thing. But like I think it was actually like it was a thing that people like looked up to. So
Mm-hmm.
like people like especially Americans too. It wasn't just like foreigners or whatever that like just not from America, but like I feel like everybody looked up to it, like wishing that they would have it. So like one day they would work towards it. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like a basic like thing that people would look over.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, now of course it's changed, but like there are still some aspects to it that are like a main idea of it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the family aspect of it's still like kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want
Um,
that?
yeah. But the thing that changed, thankfully changed, is that the wife does not have to be, in that kind of like, oh, you always have to be a housewife. Housewife, you can. I'm not saying it's a bad thing,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
that's like what's changed. And that's one of the things that changed. But
Mhm.
let me talk about what I thought the American dream was when like
Okay.
a little bit more.
All
So
right.
basically, if you guys don't know, I moved to America when I was in like fourth grade, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I've spent a lot of my life in America. And I think that's why Layla's always like, you are basically an American. But like when I moved here, there was no knowledge for me. Like I did not know what the American dream was, and I like it was I just didn't know, and there was no other dream life that I had in mind because I was
Mhm.
just really young, and I was thinking about what kind of chocolate I'm going to eat later tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
So, growing up with two different cultures was something that I actually loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. I did have like a hard time dealing with it before now, but
Uh-huh.
today it's more, what do you call it, natural. And because I grew up with two different cultures, I didn't really care for the American dream, if I
Oh,
can put it that way.
yeah.
Like I did not view my life, the end of my life, to look like the American dream, because there was
Gotcha.
just so many aspects coming from so many different cultures, and because I moved a lot, there was so many different other cultures that were part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like America itself has a lot of different cultures, even though they're like slightly different. Like
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, East Coast is a different culture than like California or
Yeah.
Florida
Mm-hmm.
or Michigan. Even though they have like they're interlinked, there's slight differences and everything because there's different kinds of people that are living in those areas.
Yeah.
So being influenced by so many different cultures, I did not view my life to be somewhat like the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I'm okay with it
Yeah.
because first of all, it's constantly changing, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, when I think of my life, I think of a very European life, but I don't know. I feel like our generation is just very.
We're
I want to
different.
break the glass ceiling. I want to break all the rules. I'm going to live my own life on my own terms, kind of
Yeah.
generation.
Gotcha. So here is like a short answer for like what is the American dream? I'll look it
Mm-hmm.
up and just to like briefly like look over some people. So hopefully you get this. So the American dream is the belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born or what class they were born in, can attain their own version of success in a society where upward mobility is possible for everyone. The American dream is achieved through sacrifice, risk taking, and hard work rather than by chance.
But that doesn't happen in real life.
No, but I mean, okay, like as an American, like I can see how some people like that just don't understand it, like the true meaning of it, like would find it to be weird, like definitely like straight up like white picket fence, house family, like big
Mm-hmm.
houses, like great job, and like everything gets handed to you, but like I get like the point of like going and like sacrificing things and taking risks and like, actually working up to get your money.
Yeah, yeah, of
That
course. I
point
don't
I
think.
get. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. If you think that American dream is like where you get handed things,
No.
that's not true. But again, that's the definition of American dream. We're not saying that's what happens in real life.
Yeah.
Of course, there's
Yeah.
people who get handed stuff in
Uh-huh.
real life.
I think that people get confused by the real definition of an American dream because some people do think it just gets handed to you. Everything's perfect. But like the true point of it is like you work out to get that. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
you like automatically have it just by like being an American or being in the US, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not how it is. It's not the true meaning.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure like people that are not in America think that way, but like I feel like a lot of people don't come to America. At least people who like immigrate here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're thinking like, oh, once I go there, I'll be treated like a king, because they know
Yeah, yeah.
what actually
You
happens
don't
around
get
the
treated
world.
like a king. You get treated like crap, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah, everyone does, and I would really like to believe that no matter where you're born, no matter what class you are, class isn't like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
financial class,
Mm-hmm.
um, you would be treated the same way and you'll be given the same opportunities as someone else who is in a higher financial class and is born in America.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's just not true in real life.
Yeah. I mean, it
I,
seems really cool once you like think about it, but like it doesn't happen for everybody, you know?
yeah.
It's just dependable.
If it does happen, do you really think we would have all these like insane,
Congrats.
not, yeah, all these like protests and all these things that are happening around the world if
Mm-hmm.
everyone got treated the same way, handed the same things, and respected the same way? We would not have all these protests.
No,
That's
no,
what,
no. Yeah. It
yeah.
would be perfect and,
Yeah.
nobody would
The, Amer-
disagree.
the whole thing about the American dream is that life is perfect.
Yeah, it seems that way. And like,
Yeah.
I can see how some people would think like the American dream is like having everything just the way you want it. And then, like, once they come to America and then, like, they think that it's just gonna be there for them. Like, especially like if you're like an immigrant or like anything similar, like you're probably going to get treated a little bit differently just because you're not an American. And
Mm-hmm.
like there are different people in the world now than ever before, so it may be like have changed from the past though. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
good thing though.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like even if you are an American
Mm-hmm.
and you're not like Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
there's a slight, like,
Yeah.
let's say
Mm-hmm.
you will still get treated differently.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the factor that determines everything is whether you're born, like, American born or not.
Yeah.
It's just if you are, like, Caucasian.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Caucasian, like you definitely get some perks for
Yes.
just being there. Especially if you're an American on top of that, like
Mm-hmm.
congrats, you know.
The sad thing is that today,
Mm-hmm.
every other country is doing so well with COVID. They have it
Mm-hmm.
all under control.
And we're just
And
sitting here like
I
pigs.
know
We're like,
we're not handling it.
yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel like
We have
everyone, you know,
dumb people in the US too, guys, as you can tell.
oh yeah, whoever thinks you like, no country has only smart people. There's
No.
always dumb people. And sometimes they get to make decisions in life. So,
Yeah. Okay, here is the now definition of the current American dream.
ooh,
Okay.
okay.
I know, interesting. Okay, it says today's American dream is being able to graduate from college with minimal debt, secure a job
Mhm.
in your field that has benefits, be able to afford healthcare costs while saving for retirement and paying down loans, and still live a comfortable life. The American dream still exists but has taken on a new form.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's because so many factors changed in life.
Yeah, oh, yes. People like care about their education more now. I think that's a good thing.
Which they should.
Yeah.
And that does not, it should not be, education should not be limited to people who are male, Caucasian, or I don't know, male.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like back in the day, where like the old American dream, that was just very male focused, like the
Yeah.
household, the
Yeah.
jobs, and everything. But now
We've
we
changed
have,
thoughts.
yeah, we want females, women to be, you know, be able to be educated and stuff too. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just because there are probably women who are smarter than some men. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Exactly. There are. There are a lot
Yeah,
of smart
not
people.
probably, they are.
They are. Yeah. Speaking
Oh,
of
that
that,
reminds me of
yeah.
like that.
Go
I
ahead.
think you told me this quote one day, but like when we were just hanging out,
Okay.
um, or I heard it on TikTok.
Oh, gotcha.
But it was like, who started all the wars in the world? It was men. So women
Yeah.
are peaceful.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We are woman rule.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
But yeah, I do. There are like dumb people on both sides.
There are. There are.
Yeah, one gender is not superior to the other. It's just that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like women can definitely do whatever they want, and if you think otherwise, get away. You're
Yeah,
not worth it. You
you
wouldn't
really
be
are not.
here without a
Oh my
woman.
god. If
So,
I thankfully have not met a person who thinks that a woman, like, women should not be, you know,
mhm,
not at home serving their kids and husband.
yeah.
But if I do, I don't know what I would. I don't know what I would. What do you even say to that? When people tell you that, what do you say? Like, if I told you that, oh yeah, I think that, women should just stay at home and do their, like, take care of the kids.
I'd be like, I wouldn't really say anything. Honestly, I'm one of those people. Hold up, hold up. You'll
Yeah,
understand. You'll understand. I wouldn't waste a single moment of my breath to come back to that.
yes.
I wouldn't even. I do whatever the heck I want to do. I wouldn't waste my breath on that.
I know. Oh my god.
Mm-mm. Bye
I don't get it. Yeah, like, just honestly, you're right. You should not be wasting your time with those kind of people because, first of all, they're in such a closed mindset.
I might just
And
laugh at them and just walk away. Just like,
I feel like that's the ultimate response to that kind of question.
That's like the only response that you should ever give.
That's the only correct response.
Yeah,
You
it's
laugh and you
just
walk away.
like look them up and down and just be like,
Oh my god.
okay,
Goodness
so
gracious.
here's another thing. Why is the American dream impossible? So the answer that they
Mm-hmm.
gave to this, you ready?
Yes.
It says, the American divide between the rich and the poor is so vast that it is nearly impossible to cross. This traps the poor in poverty while the rich get richer at their expense, thus killing the American dream. Some
It's been
people
dead.
assert that the American dream is still alive. Some aspects are
Mm,
alive in it, not the whole thing.
yeah, I don't think we are so far away from achieving the whole, no matter what class you are,
Mm-hmm.
you will still be given the same opportunities. I feel like we're so far away from that because our society just
Mm-hmm.
has left that behind and we've grown. And as like they said, there's such a huge gap between people who are rich and people who are not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too wide of a gap to be closing right now.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. No system is perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sadly, we're just gonna have to go with one of them because we
Yeah.
can't be running a country, the world, without one.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things that connect to like the world, and it's just crazy. There's too much to explain about things.
Yes. Oh my god. We are definitely gonna go off. Like we have
Yeah.
been jumping all around the whole
Yeah.
like American thing today and I love
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of the American dream, which we already are,
Mhm.
so there's this show. I mentioned it in an episode like weeks ago, probably.
Mhm.
Hopefully I did. But anyways, it was talking about the American dream, and there was
Mhm.
this guy. He is I think he's a billionaire or a millionaire, whichever one.
Oh, is
And
it the one that always wears shorts to all his like
what?
he's like
No,
tall, he's like white, and then he always talks with his hands a lot. Is he on TikTok?
no,
Oh.
woman. He has a TV show.
Oh, that one. Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and so he's a millionaire, I think, and he wanted to prove that the American dream is still alive.
Mhm.
And this part of the American dream is still alive. And which one he was talking about was like the financial aspect and to grow like without anything. And so what he did was he basically flew like on a private jet to like the middle of nowhere. Like he didn't even know this place, okay?
Mhm.
And so he went there, and what his job is, he got like this like beat up pickup truck, and like I think maybe $100 or something.
Mhm.
And then he got like this phone with no contacts in it,
Mhm.
and with he's supposed to make connections with people, and throughout the entire process, he's supposed to make like I think $1 million business in like a month,
Mhm.
and he wants to show people how you can do it, and through the entire series,
That's
it
a
was
really
pretty
cool show.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah, it
but
was
I
pretty
do
interesting.
think that before he did all that, he had so much knowledge from running his own billionaire business that
Yeah,
he could have he like I feel like someone who was like not rich and who did not have the opportunity to get that kind of education would not be able to do the same in the same level. At least they would be able to earn their money, but maybe not in the same level where he turns it into a millionaire company.
I disagree. Here's why.
Okay.
You should watch it because it's interesting the way he does things. Like, we're very smart, human beings, as we always are, but like we
Mm-hmm.
don't know that because we don't show it. And all the things that he was doing, literally, I would have done the same thing. But like,
Okay.
of course, not everybody's like coming to the US to like make a billionaire like business or a millionaire business. And that's okay. But like, at least to survive. And all the things that he was doing was like literally just making connections. He would go like walk into like a hotel and be like, "Hey, do you need any like maintenance done so I can like have a room for the night or whatever?" Like
Mm-hmm.
simple little things along the way that he would build. And I think that some people just overthink the process and like just get scared of their own trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it is very possible. Like, even if you have no experience whatsoever, I
Mm-hmm.
think that anybody could do it. And I think that some people just need to like open up and, actually do it. Like, I'm sure I've seen, like, okay, for instance, there are girls on TikTok, many, many, many of them, who have their own business, rather it's like phone cases, like whatever, those kind of like business, small little things. And I saw this one about like a week ago, and this girl's like 17 or 18 probably,
Mm-hmm.
and she had her own business with phone cases, and she would sell them and make thousands of dollars a month, thousands. And she would make so much money that she would literally pay for the house that she lived in with her parents.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. I was like, dang,
No, but
girl.
I see where you're coming
Yeah.
from. I do agree with what
You
you're
see?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
interesting. It's so
mm-hmm,
interesting.
it is true. I feel like the only thing that you have to put in the work, you have to work hard to
Yeah.
make those connections. You
Mm-hmm.
have to work hard to get to
Yeah.
a spot where you
Yeah.
can earn that much money.
Exactly.
It's just, I feel like in today's world, everyone expects to just, put in the bare minimum and get what
No.
someone who's putting in
Yeah.
80 hours a week is getting.
Yeah, that's the
And
problem. You need to stop doubting yourself and actually put in the work that's meant for you.
exactly.
Because
And
you'll get somewhere.
I think that applies to like living in general and not
Yeah.
just the American dream.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah. And okay, when you think about your future, do you think of like marriage as like the end goal, or do you think as of
Mm-mm.
like something that's part of your journey?
I think it's part of my journey. I don't think it's an end goal.
Okay,
I
okay.
think I don't really think of like an end goal. I just think of like an entire journey that just like leads to something, but like I don't have any goal from my end life, you know?
Yeah, end goal as in like not at the end of the life goal, but like
I
if you
don't have
achieve this
any.
goal, you think that this is like your dream life, achieving this goal.
Mm-mm. I don't have that. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Do you?
I don't know. No, I don't have an end goal, but like I feel like before I don't think about marriage when I like the first thing that pops into my head when I think about my dream life is not marriage. It's about me.
Got you. I like that.
Yeah, it's about like me having my like
Living your
yes,
best life.
marriage. Yeah, living my best life,
Yeah.
wearing bougie outfits and walking on my lawn.
Yay.
That's my goal,
My girl.
Yeah. So I'm not saying having marriage as that goal that pops into your head when you think about your dream life is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's just not that. It's for me, it's like marriage is something that happens while that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got you.
So yeah, I was talking to my mom about that the other day, and she was like, "I think a lot of people just think about marriage as the end goal," and I was like,
Yeah, I think
"Oh,
so.
okay."
There are some people that like just get like married way too early than they ever should, and they just
True.
can't like experience their own life, you know?
That depends on what kind of person they married.
Yeah, it is. It does. Okay,
If
so
they married someone who
yeah.
like lets them live their best life,
Yeah,
then yes.
maybe.
But like,
Yeah.
keyword is they shouldn't be letting them. They should just. There's no permission here.
Yeah.
You're two individual people, so just do whatever you want while keeping the other one updated.
Exactly.
On your life.
Yeah. So I was talking to my mom a couple days ago about this. It was quite interesting. And we were talking about like, actually like being with someone. Like, sure, you're dating, but like to the point where like you're involved in a real relationship. Like, marriage is a possibility kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom, I was asking her like, when should I like, get into like a relationship? There we go. Like dating is just dating, but relationship is like, we're still, this is something, So I was asking her that, and she said, coming from her own experience, she said, sure, have to, date around or whatever, experience life, but do not settle down during college, okay?
Oh, just don't.
She said, after college, sure, there's a possibility, but I want you to focus on yourself. And I was like, yes, let's do that.
And I agree with her, because I feel like you should be more important than whatever like person that's going to come into your life.
If they really are truthfully worth it, they'll come.
Yeah. Yeah,
If not, I'll
and
live alone with my dog.
I'll live alone with my dog. You can come visit me. We'll live alone together
Yeah, with her dogs.
with our dogs. But no, like I do agree with your mom because I feel like just college is like you're still finding yourself. You don't have a job. You know, you're getting your degree to get that dream job and stuff. So yeah, have fun during college. I'm not saying be a loner and just don't do
No,
anything,
please
but
don't do
have
that,
fun.
guys.
Yeah. And yes, you can date for marriage during college. I just don't think you should be married until you have a stable financial life.
Yes, yes, exactly. Once you like know
Period.
what you're gonna do with your life, then we can just
Yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just I don't know. Like if I was proposed to before I had a job of my own,
Yeah.
I
I'd be like,
can we
no.
do this in 2 years?
Yeah, can you try again later?
Try again. Like just try again later. The user is busy.
Literally, I told my mom this, and she was like, well, we were talking about that same conversation, and so I was telling her, okay, so if I'm like flirting with a guy and, you know, we're possibly gonna date or whatever, I'm gonna tell him before we start doing that, hold up, I'm not looking for anything serious, okay? And she said, you might scare him off, and I said,
Not
okay
in our
then.
generation.
And she said, but if they're like into that, then, you know, I
Yeah, that's
guess
what I said.
that's fine.
Like, I
Yeah, who
mean,
knows?
I mean,
I mean, come on.
look at where we've gotten from American Dream.
I know.
This is
It
proof
all
that the
connects
American Dream
somehow.
is changing, though.
Yeah, it is. It does.
My God,
Okay.
because back then you date
Yeah.
that one guy and you get married
Mm-hmm.
when you're like I don't know 20.
Oh, that was too young. That
That
was
is
way too young.
crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing
Uh-huh.
before we end this beautiful podcast of ours. So, does the U.S. still provide access to the American dream? Okay, you want to hear the answer? Think about like the question for a minute though. Okay,
Okay,
it's an interesting question
it is.
because I'm like access what? Okay, the American dream is still accessible because all Americans have a right to have their own idea of happiness, and those who strive for it can achieve it. In the Declaration of Independence, it states that all Americans are granted life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Mhm. Okay,
I don't know. That was
I agree with
interesting.
that.
I agree
The
too.
my favorite part of that was your own unique idea of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because okay, let me be honest. Let me
Go
be
ahead.
honest.
Spill.
The traditional American dream might be someone's idea of happiness, but not
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
So, setting that like I like that we have a constantly changing American dream where
Mm-hmm.
right now we're like whatever you think is going to make you happy, that's your American dream or that's
Yeah.
your dream in general
Yeah.
because back then I feel like the standard for like the perfect quote unquote perfect life
Mm-hmm.
was the American dream and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Was.
Yeah. And everyone was like pressured to live up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to live up to that, that's okay. Just be you and never stop being you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
I think that like that's a thing. The American dream, like, you know, it's very specific, and I feel like people all around the world have a different dream. You know,
of
they don't
course.
have the same dreams. So the American dream is only possible for some people. It
Yeah.
just depends on like if their dream is that. You
Yeah.
know. It's just that's just one specific thing, but there
Exactly.
are people that have different dreams. It may not be an American dream, it's probably just their dream, you know?
Yeah. And now I feel like, as the definition that you just read, the
Hmm?
American dream is just your dream, whatever it is,
Yeah,
which I absolutely love
your
because that
idea.
is how it should be.
Exactly. I feel like it gets confused all the time, and it's like
Yes.
so credited like badly of now because they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, American dream. They think I want to be perfect and all of that. Like, but
Perfection is
like,
not a thing, first of all.
yeah, exactly. It's not a thing. And I think that people do hate on the American dream now because they're just like, oh, it was just such a thing like back then to have this. I'm like, yeah, it was, but like You know, it is your own idea of it. You know, it's not saying you have to have this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this is a rule, but it's not. Like, you have your own idea of it, and that's completely fine. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't have to think the same as others.
Mm-hmm. And I understand where they're coming from too, but like kind of not at the same time. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was a little confused about that. But as you said, it is your idea of what you want your life to be today.
Yeah.
Yes, back then it was kind of a standard, but it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So today, just be you. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. Just be you.
It just be you. You know, don't be anybody else, just be you.
Be you.
That's our
Heart.
quote. Just be you. Don't
Just
be
be
anybody
you.
else.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We were super excited to do this episode, not only because, you know, the American dream is such a different idea today, because,
Yeah.
and, you know, we're not American. Oh, well, I'm not American. She's American.
Yes, speaking.
So we wanted to find out our own definitions of the American dream. And it was such a fun episode to do with
It
y'all.
was.
It was. It was great.
I loved it.
um, Again, don't forget to follow us on all our social media at Detail Official. It would be so greatly appreciated if you could rate and review us. We'd love it. We want to hear about how we can get better or continue doing something that you absolutely love, like the quotes. You better love that because we are putting effort into that.
We
um,
are.
but yeah, thank you. We will see you next Wednesday. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.
Bye.